Okay, so after Andrew goes on sabbatical, and you tell a story in the book, which I was just like, it almost made me cry. You're talking about that Easter Sunday when he had a very debilitating panic attack backstage, like before he was about to preach, and then went on and preached. And you said that you were in the green room while he was preaching. And look, I'm about to cry because it made me cry as a wife of you saying you're in the green room with the worship team, you're crying, he's on stage preaching, and nobody knows. And I felt your aloneness in that moment. And so talk to me as the spouse. Like you told us in the book, and we'll talk a little bit more about like what Andrew was going through, but what was that like for you in those months, in those weeks? Maybe start here. What was it like leading up to the sabbatical? Because the sabbatical was where the church leadership was like, hey, you need a break. And I have a feeling that during the sabbatical, it was even, you have a different story of what it felt like. So what was it like leading up to sabbatical for you as the spouse?
Yeah, I'm like tearing up as well, just hearing you talk about it. It was really, really lonely, like very, very lonely. And I think I, as a pastor's wife, like my close circle of friends all attended our church. And so I felt like I couldn't confide in them. I felt like I couldn't tell them the reality of what was going on at home, the anxiety and the panic attacks and the restlessness and the sleepless nights that we were having when he was struggling with panic attacks. I felt like I couldn't confide in anybody because Andrew was their pastor, and I didn't want them to see him as weak or not capable or not able to do his job. I didn't want them to be sitting in the rows on Sunday and looking at him preach from the stage and thinking that he's a phony. And so I felt like I had this like burden that I was carrying alone. I was able to talk about it with family, but that was really about it. Looking back, I wish that I would have, like, I was screaming on the inside. I needed to have friends. I needed to tell people. So I would say to pastors' wives, like, if your husband is struggling with depression, or your husband's struggling with anxiety, or your husband's struggling with mental illness, and you're the pastor's wife, like, you have to reach out to people. You have to let people in. You have to invite people into your pain. Like, that's one of my biggest regrets as a spouse, is not inviting people into my pain, not only Andrew's pain, but my pain and the co-burdening of his mental illness.